Okay, cool.
I'm the only one.
I know you can see through. Yeah, I apologize. I couldn't. I wasn't even gonna. I was gonna try to get somebody else to do that because I was gonna be traveling, but I stayed back, so I had to do it on Zoom. Hi, Councilwoman Riley.
Hello there. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Mr. Clerk, are we set from your end?
We're all set.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Binghamton business meeting for Thursday, August 25th, 2022. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
to the
and
republic
to the republic
for which
it stands,
one
one
nation
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you for that. Mr. Clerk, could you do a roll call for us, please?
Yes. Councilman Scaringi is absent because he's on duty. Councilwoman Resnetti,
Present.
Councilwoman Riley,
Present.
Councilwoman Friedman,
Present.
Councilman Burns. Sorry, Councilman Burns, can you hear me?
Present.
Thank you.
Present.
Councilman Scanlon
Present.
and President Strawn.
Present.
That's 6 here with 1 absent, Scaringi.
Okay, thank you. It looks, Mr. Clerk, I just wanted to be clear before we do the approval of minutes. It looks like we have Council Member Friedman in our Corporate Counsel office down at the main desk.
Yes, we also have Elizabeth. She's the newest member of our Corp Council team.
Okay, welcome, Elizabeth. Okay, we will now go to the approval of minutes. Councilwoman Resnetti.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion for approval of the minutes for the August 23rd, 2022 business meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, thank you for that. We will go right to our public comment. I just spoke to the clerk a moment ago, and he said there was no comments sent to the clerk's office prior to the meeting. So, Mr. Clerk, will you please announce the public comment and how folks can participate?
Yes, if residents would like to participate in public comment, please click the raised hand button via Zoom and leave it raised, and we will allow you to speak one by one. You'll be given 5 minutes to speak, and please state your full name and if you live or work in the city of Binghamton. Mr. President, at this time, there are no attendees logged in. I'll let you know if anyone logs in and raises their hand.
Okay. Yeah, I got the participants up. It's easier for me to see that when I'm on this side of the Zoom than when we're down there. We'll give it just another moment, then we'll move on to our legislative agenda. Okay, seeing no hands raised, we will move on to our legislative agenda. First, we have our preferred agenda. Would anybody like anything removed from the preferred agenda before we start with that? Okay, Mr. Clerk, would you start walking us through the preferred agenda, please?
Yes. Okay, so the first item on tonight's preferred agenda is Introductory Ordinance 22-115, considered in the Finance Committee. And this is an ordinance to amend the capital and general fund budget.
Okay, Any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-115? Okay, please proceed.
Next, we have introductory ordinance 22-116 considered in finance. And this is an ordinance to amend the capital and general fund budget.
Any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-116? Okay, please proceed.
Our next item is introductory ordinance 22-117 considered in the planning committee. And this is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to amend the lease agreement with Metro Interfaith for a fence on the sidewalk at 22-24 New Street.
Okay, any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-117? Okay, please proceed.
Next, we have introductory ordinance 22-118 considered in the planning committee. And this is an ordinance to amend the 2022 budget to transfer funds for lead risk assessment.
Okay, any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-118? Okay, please proceed.
Next, we have introductory ordinance 22-119 considered in the employees committee. And this is an ordinance to amend chapter 124-39 personnel policies of the code of the city of Binghamton to add the purchasing agent to the list of 8-hour per standard workday employees.
Any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-119? Okay, please proceed.
Okay, next we have introductory ordinance 22-120 considered in finance. And this is an ordinance to amend the 2022 finance budget for a responsibility adjustment for the purchasing agent until December 31st, 2022.
Okay. Any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-120? Okay, please proceed.
Next, we have introductory ordinance 22-121 considered in the finance committee. And this is an ordinance to update the city of Binghamton's chart of accounts to provide for a custodial trust fund and corresponding accounts per GASB announcement 84.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-121? Okay, please proceed.
Next, we have introductory ordinance 22-122 considered in finance. And this is an ordinance to amend the 2022 capital budget to allocate ARPA funds for sewer and water line improvements.
Okay. Any questions or comments on introductory ordinance 22-122? Okay, please proceed.
And the last item on tonight's preferred agenda is introductory resolution 22-73 considered in finance. And this is a resolution approving a revolving loan in the amount of $100,000 and a special projects UDAG loan in the amount of $150,000 from the BLDC to Claw Industries LLC for equipment and working capital.
Okay, any questions or comments on introductory resolution 22-73? Okay. We have a motion to accept the preferred agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, we do a roll call for us, please, on the preferred agenda.
Yes, Councilman Scaringi is absent. Councilwoman Resnetti,
Aye.
Councilwoman Riley,
Aye.
Councilwoman Friedman,
Aye.
Councilman Burns,
Aye.
Councilman Scanlon,
Aye.
and President Strawn.
Aye.
Okay, that's 6 ayes, 1 absent. Scaringi.
Okay, thank you. We have one item on our non-preferred agenda. Introductory resolution 22-74 considered in the MPA committee. Councilwoman Resnetti.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask for unanimous consideration for Introductory Resolution 22-44. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor to extend the agreement with the Binghamton City School District for school resource officers at the high school and middle schools for 22-2023.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments on introductory resolution 22-74?
Yes, Mr. President, I have a comment, please.
Go ahead, Councilman Scanlon.
I'm glad to see this on the agenda tonight. A lot of surrounding school districts have SROs in the grade schools, and I've reached out to some people on the Binghamton School Board, and I'll be writing a letter to Superintendent Thompson to encourage them to also add SROs in the grade schools. I think it's important, safety along a number of reasons, but safety number one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we move to question, did that receive a second?
It did not. Would anyone like to second that motion?
Second,
Who second? Didn't he motion? That was that Councilman Scanlon?
It was a Resnetti motion with a Scanlon second.
Oh, okay. Councilmember Friedman, go ahead.
Thank you, President Strawn. I think it comes as a surprise to no one that I continue to have issue with school resource officers for a lot of reasons. Let me start by saying I'm sure a lot of them love their job. In my day job, I do work in the schools and I do see the SROs there. They all seem to enjoy being there, enjoy working with kids, and are pleasant. However, I have a few issues. One of which is I found out that we don't keep any data or any record of how well the SROs have achieved the goals and objectives outlined in this contract. Now, if I was at, again, my day job, I also have a job description, which also contains goals and objectives. And I receive regular reviews about how well I am achieving the goals and objectives outlined in my job description. If I fail to meet those goals and objectives, I would no longer be employed at my place of employment. So it really worries me that we have goals like, foster educational programs and, prevent juvenile delinquency. And we don't know, apparently, we don't know how well these programs are working. And I have read many resources, what is the word? A lot of literature about how SROs, in fact, are harmful to our students, particularly students that are already marginalized, students of color and students of disabilities, by exacerbating the school to prison pipeline. And I have spoken about this before, but by making it easier for police to intervene and arrest our youth, that makes it more likely that they will end up either immediately or somewhere down the line in prison. And that is not good for our communities. It breaks up families. It weakens our communities. And we don't even know if these are effective programs. So I take issue with that. I cannot support SROs in schools, and with the high profile case of what happened in Uvalde, Texas, where the SROs, I mean, that's just one example, of course, but I mean, that's an example where that was kind of the perfect scenario of what an SRO is purportedly there to prevent. And yet we still had a tragedy that happened there. So I'm not comfortable approving this contract, and I'm going to vote no. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on introductory resolution 22-74? Okay. Would somebody like to call the question?
Call the question.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, could you do a roll call for us, please?
Yes, Councilman Scaringi is absent. Councilwoman Resnetti,
Aye.
Councilwoman Riley, it looks like Councilwoman Riley is logged off for the moment. I'll count her as absent. Councilwoman Friedman,
Nay.
Councilman Burns,
Aye.
Councilman Scanlon,
Aye.
and President Strawn.
Aye.
Okay, so that's 4 ayes, 2 absent, Scaringi and Riley, and 1 nay, Friedman.
Okay, thank you for that. We will now move to our communication from council members, and we will start in District 4 and Council Member Friedman.
Thank you, President Strawn. So it's been an interesting few weeks, I suppose. Nothing really to report in the 4th district. I'm really excited this weekend for Porch Fest. I know that's not in the 4th, but I still attend every year in the 3rd district. And I hope that we have good weather, and preemptive thank you to the organizers who continue to put together an amazing, fun event where everyone comes out. I see everyone I know pretty much who lives in the city of Binghamton. I don't really have anything else to report from the 4th district. So I guess that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now go to District 5 and Councilman Burns.
Yes. Thank you. I don't have a lot to report either. We've been working on a few things actually, but I want to thank the mayor for responding. We have a problem with a wall that's caving in up on the Bayless Creek, and I sent some pictures to the mayor and our deputy mayor, and they responded and sent some folks over there to take a look at it. So that was fabulous. And Mary Street's still being worked on. The tennis courts we were scheduled for new tennis courts last year. We didn't get them because of COVID, blah, 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 etc. Then we didn't get them this year, but we're going to get them next year. But they're going to at least put one layer of pavement over the courts for the remainder of this year, the beginning of next year for the high school. So because the high school does use it, and a lot of the constituents used it, and so we're going to get that done, and they're going to line 2 of the courts for something called pickleball. I have no idea what it is, but I know some constituents like to play it, so we're going to take care of that. And I'm also looking forward to Porch Fest, and I too see everyone I know there from the city of Binghamton, and it's a great thing. You can find me down at Abel's probably at the end of the day around 4 o'clock. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, we will now go to District 7 and Councilman Scanlon.
Just real briefly, Mr. President, I look forward to Monday to ask some questions to IT about what's transpired here over the past week or so. And this is, I guess, directed at the clerk's office. I can't imagine we couldn't have a meeting worked on Monday, and there had to be a way to do this. I mean, we were dead in the water for over a week here, which doesn't make any sense to me. There's got to be a way to put a meeting together, even if it was in person. And I would certainly show up if somebody said it's only a person or a meeting. I would certainly show up for that. But something, I'm not sure what happened there, but I two different things. Number one, the meeting. Number two, IT. So I look forward to Monday asking some questions to Lori at IT. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Scanlon. We will now go to District 2 and Councilwoman Resnetti.
Thank you, Mr. President. Not a whole lot to report. I too want to say, kind of go from what Councilman Burns was saying regarding pickleball. I'm getting some requests as well, and it appears to be one of the newest, or I don't know, more popular sports. So I will be doing what I can to advocate for any upgrades in our parks. I want to say thank you to those who have reached out to me regarding those courts. And just like everyone else said, Porch Fest is this weekend. The weather is supposed to be beautiful. I just wanted to add to the comment, the information given earlier. It's not just District 3, it's also District 2 that is involved. And I will be there for a good chunk of the day. Looking forward to seeing you all and to enjoy the day with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now go to District 3 and Councilwoman Riley.
Thank you, Council President. Unfortunately, I missed whatever comment was made, but as you all know, we got new passwords. My computer updated and didn't save the password. So I had to go get the paper. Our new passwords were on, and yeah, it took me forever to get back in. So nevertheless, a lot of things happening in the district. Of course, yes, Porch Fest is happening in the 3rd. It's happening on the west side as a whole, but I am so excited about it because, as you know, Chestnut Street is always ripe with energy and a great opportunity to meet your neighbors. Also, shout out to CARES, who is doing several backpack giveaways throughout the city in partnership with, of course, city. We allocated resources to that project, and I was fortunate enough to go out, and these parents are so thankful for the backpacks, the supplies, and there are books included. So guys, feel very excited about supporting this initiative, as well as several initiatives we do, but this one again came, we've been going through a lot, particularly with COVID, and to see the parents out and actually run out of book bags at this last event I attended says a lot. So shout out to CARES in the city. Also, some other events are happening throughout. Please make sure you are still remaining vigilant. COVID is not over. And there are several other epidemics occurring at the same time. So stay abreast of the latest and greatest. And I think that's about it. In my haste to find the password, I've lost my notes and everything. But yes, I too kind of, believe it or not, side with Scanlon and really just want everyone to recognize our constituents didn't know we were not accessing the email. So they were, did you get my message? Did you get my message? Did you get my message? And we were still unable to put an away message or I'm unable to check your messages outside of our social media. And as you know, a large subset of our population does not use social media. So I spent a day kind of going through and apologizing for my lack of response to several emails. So I look forward to the conversation, looking at strategies that the city can employ to ensure this never happens again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman Riley. Just a couple things real quick. On a fun note, I had till 2 weeks ago, I would have agreed with 2 of my colleagues about pickleball, but about 2 weeks ago, I played for the first time and it is very fun. It's a combination of tennis, ping pong, and badminton, if you want to look at it that way. And I can totally see why people are getting into it. It gets you moving, but it's not quite as big of a court as tennis. So as we get, at least I'll speak for myself, a little bit older, it gets you out there, gets you active, and it's fun. So I'm glad to see the city recognizing that and getting some of those lines on some of our courts. I think people will take advantage of that. To Councilwoman Riley's and Councilman Scanlon's points, I agree. Looking forward to the discussion as well, to the twofold discussion of how we can protect, cyber issues with municipalities is a big thing, but how we can also not could be completely blind as well. My understanding is that the delay was in essence out of an abundance of caution to make sure that we were safe and back up. But that was a long time. I am in agreement with that. So hopefully we can have that discussion. For now, I'm glad we're back together. And the other thing I just wanted to make a note of, encourage everybody to take advantage of Porch Fest. And I was at the Dick's Open this week. I know it's not in the city of Binghamton, it's in Endicott, but the city was advertising at the event. It was a great event. And Saturday night, I saw my brother and his family at a family movie night with fireworks over there. And it just dawned on me how many fun things we actually have going on in this whole area. City of Binghamton and our neighbors, Vestal, Endicott, Johnson City, and others. There's a lot to do and a lot of fun to be had around here. And some of it, like that movie night in Endicott, was free for families. And a lot of these things are. So I would encourage you to get that information, get online. I think there's still good times in the paper, I believe. But lots of stuff going on in this whole area, including the city, that to take advantage of, which is great. It's a vibrant area and things are happening. And I'm excited to see people out there enjoying that with each other. So with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend, and we will see you soon. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.